For those who desire association with me eternally, I alone bear the responsibility for their attaining me and preventing their separation from me. Why? Tesham. Why this translation may come into picture? That's because Tesham is those, Nitya, always. Abhi Yuktanam, who have a desire to associate with whom? With Aham, Krishna. For such people, what Krishna does, the word Vahami also means bears responsibility. And for what? For yoga. Yoga also means joining of two things together, the samyog, or the joining of two things or two objects or two people together. So here, the yoga is with respect to Aham, Krishna. So for them to attain Krishna, and also Kshema is to prevent their separation. So Krishna says that he will personally bear the responsibility for those who always desire the association with him. So he will bear the responsibility for them to come to me. Many times we think that it is we who, by dint of our own efforts, attain Krishna. Actually, Krishna says, you desire, I will take care of the rest. I want to go to this in two steps, some today and maybe the rest tomorrow. Let me open this other thing. In one of our other calls, we were actually discussing the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, a lot of focus goes on death. What happens after death? So there are two, actually Krishna talks about three paths. This is given in the 8th chapter itself, about the path of the person after death. There is a path for a person who's called a karmi, or a person who is very much interested in just getting the result of his activities. He will put some effort, and in return he will get some fruits, or he'll get some money, he will get some position, he wants to get some happiness. This is the karmi. And then there is also a yogi, or a jnana yogi to be more precise, who will want to know that, yes, I know that there is an absolute truth, but I want to attain him by dint of my practice with my body here. I will shut my body off, my mind off from other things, and I will focus on the supreme. Then there is another path for the yogi. So there is a karmi, there is a jnani, and there is a yogi. The karmi, which we discussed, I think actually last Sunday in one of our sessions for some subset of this group, that when a person, karmi, leaves the body, first his soul, his body is gone, but his soul is present. His atma is present along with his mind, intelligence, and false ego. So when the atma leaves the body, it will leave along with the mind, intelligence and false ego. Together, it is taken by the deity of smoke, and then the deity of night. So there is a deity for all of them. It's not just they are smoke. There is a person behind it. That is what our scriptures say. For night, there is a deity. Likewise, one by one, each of the deities take him. There's a deity of the Krishna Paksha, then the deity of the year, and finally he's taken from the Bhuloka to the Pitraloka. So there is a Bhuloka where we are staying right now. Then there is above the Bhuloka, there are the other lokas, Bhuvarloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, Satyaloka. Like twice below this Bhuloka, there are other talas. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala. Like that, we have all the talas. Near the Patala Loka, there is also the Naraka Loka. So every living individual who has committed sinful activities will be taken with his mind, intelligence, and false ego to this Naraka Loka. And after he experiences the result of all the bad activities with his subtle body, with his mind, because we experience happiness through the mind. It is not like, even if there is some pain in the body, it is the mind which tells, hey, there is a pain here. If the mind is inactive, no matter what you do to the body, you can't know anything. So to give punishment to the living entity, the mind is sufficient. So after going to the Narakaloka, the living entity goes to the Pitraloka, and we discussed how our day, sometimes the offerings we do to the forefathers help them to get food in the Pitraloka, and after being there for some time, they come to Chandraloka, and then when they exhaust their pious credits, they come to earth. This is for those who are not focusing on the absolute truth at all. And this is a very strenuous, tenuous process. Then there is also the path of the body, which is a path for the person who focuses on the Gyanis. The Gyani, what he does here is, he tries to focus on the absolute truth. So he passes through a different set of deities take him. A deity for the light, a deity for the day. It all comes to Shukla Paksha, then the deity for the year, then the deity for the air, then the sun, the moon. One by one, it goes all the way to the deity of Brahmaloka. And finally, one of the associate of the Lord takes him to Brahman. But the interesting thing here is, a person who tries to go in Bhakti Yoga, for him, these different deities and all don't come into picture. He is taken directly by Krishna and Krishna's associates. So that aspect, that Krishna and Krishna's associates, I would like to say it through one small pastime of this Gopakumar, which we will hear tomorrow. How Krishna personally arranges for his devotees to meet him. So we'll pause here and we'll continue again tomorrow. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.